6 foods that can help strengthen your legs after 70. Stop buying expensive protein shakes and complicated leg press machines before you understand this. The real secret to stronger legs after 70 may have been sitting in your local grocery store this entire time. And the surprising part is that these foods are not exotic, rare, or unaffordable. They are simple foods that many people already have in their kitchen, but they may not be using them in the right way. Today, I am going to share 6 foods that current nutrition research points to as genuinely helpful for supporting muscle maintenance, leg strength, energy, balance, and recovery in older adults, even if you are 80, 85, or 90 years old. You are not automatically too old to improve your strength. Research following large groups of adults aged 70 and older has repeatedly found that people who consistently consume enough protein, minerals, healthy fats, fiber, and muscle-supporting nutrients tend to maintain more strength and physical function compared with people whose diets are low in these essentials. That difference is not just a number on a research chart. It can affect whether you can walk into your grandchild's graduation on your own 2 feet, whether you can get up from a chair without pushing off with your hands, whether you can carry groceries from the car, and whether you feel confident walking through your own home. The foods responsible for supporting that difference are not expensive supplements or complicated meal replacements. One of them, the number 1 food on today's list, is something many people probably threw away recently, thinking it was unhealthy or unnecessary. Stay with me until the end because that final food could genuinely change the way you think about your kitchen, your breakfast, and your future strength. Before I say anything else, I want you to understand why this particular decade of life matters so much for your legs. Around age 70, the rate of muscle loss often accelerates compared with the decades before it. This does not mean every person loses strength at the same speed. Your activity level, sleep, medical conditions, medications, hormone levels, and diet all play a role. But for many older adults, the changes become more noticeable during the 70s, and your legs are usually where the problem shows up first. Your legs carry your entire body weight every time you stand, walk, climb a step, turn around, get out of bed, or move across a room. They are not just responsible for transportation, they are also involved in blood sugar regulation, circulation, balance, posture, and your ability to recover from illness or injury. When leg strength declines, it rarely remains isolated to your legs. It can affect your energy, your confidence, your balance, and even your willingness to leave the house. Many older adults begin moving less because they feel weak. Then, because they move less, they lose even more strength. That is why nutrition matters. The encouraging part is that muscle tissue remains responsive to the right inputs well into the 80s and 90s. Your body has not simply given up on rebuilding. It may be waiting for better raw materials, better nutrition, and regular movement. Before we get into the countdown, I want to ask you something personal. Drop a comment and tell me 2 things: how old you are, and whether you have noticed weakness in your legs during the past year. Maybe you have trouble getting up from a chair. Maybe stairs have become more difficult. Maybe your legs feel tired after a short walk. Maybe your balance does not feel as reliable as it used to. Tell me what you have noticed. I read the comments, and your experience may help another person recognize a problem they have been ignoring. Today we are counting down from number 6 to number 1, ranked from genuinely helpful to truly remarkable. Let us begin. Number 6. Sweet potatoes. Sweet potatoes are sitting in the kitchens of many older adults, but a lot of people eat them in a way that leaves much of their potential benefit on the table. When it comes to keeping your legs strong and steady, energy matters enormously. But not all energy behaves the same way. Some foods provide a quick burst of energy that fades rapidly and leaves you tired, hungry, and sluggish. Sweet potatoes, on the other hand, provide complex carbohydrates that can offer longer-lasting fuel for your muscles. That matters because your legs require a steady energy supply to walk, climb stairs, garden, shop, and remain active throughout the day. As we age, muscles can become less efficient at storing and using energy. This is one reason why simple activities may begin to feel more demanding than they did in the past. Carrying groceries, walking uphill, or standing in the kitchen for an extended period may leave you more tired. Sweet potatoes can help support a steadier energy pattern. They contain complex carbohydrates, fiber, potassium, vitamin A, and plant compounds that support overall nutritional health. Unlike highly refined carbohydrates, they are digested more slowly and may be less likely to produce the sharp blood sugar swings associated with sugary foods and refined snacks. Potassium is particularly important because your muscles rely on it for normal contraction and relaxation. If your diet is low in potassium, you may be more vulnerable to muscle cramps, weakness, or a tight feeling in your legs. Sweet potatoes also contain beta-carotene, which the body can convert into vitamin A. Vitamin A supports immune function, tissue maintenance, and recovery. Their natural plant compounds may also help the body manage oxidative stress, which can gradually affect muscle tissue over time. There is another interesting detail. When sweet potatoes are cooked and then cooled, even briefly in the refrigerator before reheating, some of their starch can become more resistant to digestion. This resistant starch can feed beneficial gut bacteria and may support steadier blood sugar responses in some people. You can roast sweet potatoes, mash them, add them to soups, mix them into salads, or serve them alongside eggs, fish, or poultry. I think of a patient I will call Helen, a 76-year-old woman who had become afraid of her afternoon walks because her legs would feel heavy and shaky after about 20 minutes. When we examined her breakfast, it was mostly white toast and jam. She was getting quick energy, but it did not last. Within a short period, she felt hungry and tired again. Who replaced part of that breakfast with a modest serving of roasted sweet potato, alongside a protein-rich food. After a couple of weeks, Helen told me that her afternoon walks felt more stable. She no longer experienced the same sudden heaviness halfway through. It was not a miracle cure, it was one practical adjustment that helped her build a more supportive daily eating pattern. If you have diabetes or take medication that affects blood sugar, speak with your doctor before making major dietary changes. Sweet potatoes can be nutritious, but portion size still matters. Number 5. Oats. Most people think of oats as a simple breakfast food. But for older adults, oats can be one of the better choices for steady energy and leg endurance. If your legs tire halfway through the day or feel heavy when you climb stairs, oats may help support the type of lasting energy your muscles need. Oats contain slow-digesting carbohydrates that provide a steadier fuel supply compared with sugary cereals, pastries, or sweet breakfast bars that can help reduce the energy crash that many people experience in the late morning or afternoon. But oats do more than provide energy. They also contain fiber, magnesium, iron, and a modest amount of plant-based protein. The protein content is not enough by itself to meet the needs of most older adults, but oats can become much more useful when combined with eggs, Greek yogurt, milk, nuts, seeds, or another high-quality protein source. Magnesium helps support normal muscle and nerve function. Some people with inadequate magnesium intake experience more frequent cramps, stiffness, or muscle tension, although leg cramps can have many different causes. Iron supports the transportation of oxygen through your blood. If someone is iron deficient, they may experience tiredness, reduced exercise tolerance, and weakness. However, iron supplements should never be taken casually without medical advice because too much iron can also be harmful. Oats also contain a type of soluble fiber called beta-glucan. This fiber has been studied for its relationship with cholesterol, blood sugar, and cardiovascular health. Healthier circulation supports the delivery of oxygen and nutrients to your working muscles. If you enjoy oats, try preparing them with plain milk or unsweetened fortified milk and adding berries, walnuts, chia seeds, or Greek yogurt. This turns a basic bowl of carbohydrates into a more balanced meal. Instant oats are acceptable if that is what you have available. The main thing to watch is the flavored packets, which can contain significant amounts of added sugar. Plain oats with cinnamon, berries, or chopped nuts usually provide better control over the ingredients. You can also blend oats into a smoothie, use them in homemade energy bites, or add them to a savory meal. The important point is not that oats magically rebuild muscle. The benefit comes from using oats as part of a consistent eating pattern that provides steady energy, sufficient protein, and important minerals. Number 4. Avocados. Avocados are not just a trendy food, they can be genuinely useful for keeping your legs comfortable, flexible, and active as you age. Many older adults notice stiffness when they first get out of bed or after sitting for a long time. Some experience aching knees, tight calves, or discomfort when beginning a walk. Inflammation can contribute to these symptoms, although it is not the only possible cause. Avocados contain monounsaturated fats, which are considered heart-healthy fats and can help support a balanced eating pattern. They also contain fiber, vitamin E, folate, and potassium. Potassium is important for normal muscle contraction and nerve signaling. One medium avocado contains more potassium than a banana, although the actual amount depends on its size. Adequate potassium intake may help support normal muscle function, but people with kidney disease may need to limit potassium, so this is something to discuss with your doctor. Avocados also provide vitamin E, an antioxidant that helps protect cells from oxidative stress. Their fats help make meals more satisfying and can help you absorb fat-soluble vitamins from other foods. The connection between bones and muscles is also important. As people age, bone strength and muscle strength often decline together. Vitamin K, found in avocados in smaller amounts, contributes to normal bone metabolism. Strong bones and strong muscles work as a team to support mobility and reduce the consequences of falls. You can add avocado to eggs, spread it on whole grain toast, mash it into guacamole, blend it into a smoothie, or simply eat it with lemon juice and a small amount of salt. The key is consistency. I think of a patient I will call George, 79, who described his knees as feeling glued shut during the first half hour after waking. He had never eaten avocado regularly because he thought of it as a food for younger people. We added half an avocado to his breakfast several mornings each week. Several weeks later, he reported that the stiff feeling had eased. He was getting up and moving sooner instead of spending half an hour waiting for his legs to loosen. Again, no single food can reverse every cause of weakness, but a better breakfast can help support the nutritional foundation your body needs. Number 3, berries. Aging is inevitable, but losing strength does not have to automatically follow the same path. Every day, your muscles deal with oxidative stress, low-grade inflammation, and small amounts of physical wear. You cannot see these processes directly, but you may notice their effects as stiffness, soreness, reduced endurance, or slower recovery. This is where berries can help. Blueberries, strawberries, raspberries, and blackberries contain antioxidants and plant compounds that help protect cells from oxidative stress. Their deep red, blue, and purple colors come partly from compounds called anthocyanins. These compounds have been studied for their relationship with inflammation, blood vessel function, and exercise recovery. Berries also provide vitamin C, which contributes to collagen production. Collagen supports tendons, ligaments, skin, joints, and other connective tissues that help your muscles move efficiently. When your connective tissues are not adequately supported, movement may feel less comfortable. That can cause you to move less, which then makes it harder to maintain muscle strength. Berries can also support circulation. Better circulation helps deliver oxygen and nutrients to working muscles and helps remove metabolic waste after activity. As a bonus, some of the same plant compounds that support cardiovascular and muscle health may also support cognitive health. Add berries to oatmeal, plain Greek yogurt, cottage cheese, or a smoothie. You can also eat them as a snack. Frozen berries work just as well for most purposes and are often less expensive. They can also be easier to store, especially if fresh berries are not available year-round. One practical warning: many flavored berry yogurts, juices, and smoothies contain large amounts of added sugar. Whenever possible, choose whole berries and control the sweeteners yourself. Before we move on to the final 2 foods, if you are finding this video helpful, please like and subscribe. It helps this information reach other older adults who may need practical guidance about nutrition, strength, and independence. And if you have already noticed improvement from changing your diet, let us know in the comments. We genuinely enjoy hearing what is working for you. Number 2, salmon. Every time you stand, walk, or climb stairs, your leg muscles carry your entire body weight. But as we grow older, the body's ability to rebuild muscle tends to slow down. This is one reason why older adults may notice weaker legs, increased fatigue, or a longer recovery time after physical activity. Salmon earns its place on this list because it provides both high-quality protein and beneficial fats. Protein gives your muscles the amino acids they need to repair and maintain muscle tissue. Salmon is also rich in omega-3 fatty acids, including EPA and DHA. These fats have been studied for their relationship with inflammation, cardiovascular health, and muscle function. Inflammation can contribute to stiffness, discomfort, and slower recovery. Omega-3 fatty acids may help support a more balanced inflammatory response, allowing movement to feel more comfortable. Salmon also supports circulation. Healthy blood vessels help deliver oxygen and nutrients to your muscles more efficiently. This can contribute to better endurance and less heaviness during activity. In addition, salmon provides vitamin B12, selenium, vitamin D in varying amounts, and other nutrients involved in energy metabolism and nervous system function. That nerve connection is important. Strong muscles are not enough if your movement is poorly coordinated. Your nerves must communicate with your muscles effectively for you to balance, react, and walk safely. You do not need salmon every day. 2 or 3 servings each week can fit into many healthy eating patterns. You can bake it, grill it, add it to salads, or use canned salmon in sandwiches and simple bowls. If you dislike the smell or texture of fresh salmon, canned salmon may be a convenient alternative. Mix it with lemon juice, olive oil, plain yogurt, black pepper, and herbs. I think of a patient I will call Patricia, 73, who rarely ate fish because she had never learned how to cook it. We started with canned salmon twice a week. She mixed it with a little olive oil, lemon, and pepper. After 3 months, she told me that her knees and calves felt less achy after her regular grocery trips. She had assumed that discomfort was simply unavoidable with age. Sometimes the improvement begins with making one healthy food easier to prepare. Number 1, eggs. If you ask many doctors and nutrition specialists which food most consistently supports strength after 60, Eggs are likely to be near the top of the list. They are small, affordable, easy to prepare, and rich in high-quality protein. As we age, we may lose muscle faster than we rebuild it. This process is often called sarcopenia. It may show up as slower walking, weaker legs, poorer balance, or difficulty rising from a chair. Eggs provide all 9 essential amino acids, making them a complete protein source. They also contain leucine, an amino acid that plays an important role in stimulating muscle protein synthesis. This is one reason protein distribution matters. If you eat very little protein during the day and consume most of it at dinner, your muscles may not receive the same steady support they would get from spreading protein across breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Eggs are also a source of vitamin B12, choline, selenium, and other nutrients. Choline contributes to normal nerve and muscle communication, while B vitamins support energy metabolism. The yolk contains important nutrients, so removing the yolk means removing much of the egg's nutritional value. For many people, 1 or 2 whole eggs can fit into a balanced breakfast, but if you have specific cholesterol concerns, diabetes, heart disease, or another medical condition, discuss your personal intake with your doctor. You can scramble eggs with vegetables, boil them ahead of time, poach them, or serve them with oats, sweet potatoes, avocado, or berries. I think of a patient I will call Kenneth, 82, who had avoided eggs for decades because of older advice about cholesterol. After reviewing his current health status with his medical team, he reintroduced eggs into his morning routine. About 2 months later, he mentioned that his balance getting out of the shower felt steadier than it had in years. It was a small observation, but it mattered to him. He felt more confident moving through his morning. Now you may be wondering whether you need to eat all 6 of these foods every day. The answer is no. You can mix and match them throughout the week. What matters most is consistency. Make them regular parts of your meals instead of trying them once and expecting an immediate transformation. You might have eggs with avocado one morning, oats with berries another morning, and salmon with a sweet potato later in the day. There is no requirement that you eat traditional breakfast foods at breakfast. Your muscles care about the nutrients, not the time on the clock. Light movement also helps these foods do their job. A short walk, chair exercises, gentle leg lifts, or simple stretching can help stimulate your muscles and improve circulation. Nutrition provides the raw materials. Movement tells your body where those materials are needed. But please be careful if you have kidney disease, heart failure, diabetes, swallowing difficulties, or any condition that requires dietary restrictions. Some people need to monitor potassium, protein, sodium, or fluid intake. Talk with your doctor or a registered dietitian before making major changes. I also want to mention 3 common mistakes. The first mistake is changing everything at once. People suddenly redesign their entire diet on Monday morning and become exhausted within a week. A better approach is to add 1 food at a time and allow it to become familiar. The second mistake is treating these foods like medicine instead of food. If you hate a particular food, forcing yourself to eat it every day is unlikely to last. Find enjoyable versions. Try roasted sweet potatoes instead of mashed ones. Use berries and yogurt. Prepare salmon with herbs and lemon. Make eggs in a way you genuinely like. The third mistake is expecting overnight results. Muscle rebuilds over weeks and months, not days. Consistency is far more important than intensity. Small choices repeated reliably usually outperform occasional bursts of motivation. Let us quickly review the 6 foods. Sweet potatoes provide longer-lasting energy, potassium, fiber, and plant compounds that support everyday activity. Oats provide steady carbohydrates, beta-glucan fiber, magnesium, and a useful base for adding protein and berries. Avocados provide healthy fats, potassium, vitamin E, fiber, and nutrients that support satisfying, balanced meals. Berries provide antioxidants, anthocyanins, vitamin C, and plant compounds that help protect cells from everyday stress. Salmon provides high-quality protein, omega-3 fatty acids, vitamin B12, and nutrients that support muscles, nerves, and circulation. Eggs provide complete protein, leucine, choline, and other nutrients that support muscle repair and nerve-muscle communication. Together, these foods create a practical foundation for protecting strength and supporting independence as you age. Now let me give you a simple example of how this could look in real life. Breakfast could be 2 eggs with a side of avocado and berries. Another morning could be oats topped with berries, walnuts, and plain Greek yogurt. Lunch could include canned salmon with avocado and a baked sweet potato. Dinner could include salmon with vegetables and a small serving of oats or sweet potato. None of this requires expensive equipment, unusual ingredients, or a complicated meal plan. It is mostly about choosing foods that give your muscles something useful instead of simply filling your stomach. Hydration matters too. Your body needs enough fluid to transport nutrients and support normal muscle function. But nutrition and hydration work together. Water alone cannot provide protein, potassium, magnesium, vitamin B12, or omega-3 fatty acids. I also want to be honest about the research. The specific benefits of these foods vary from person to person, and no single food can guarantee stronger legs or prevent every fall. Strength depends on many factors, including resistance exercise, walking, sleep, medication side effects, vision, balance, nerve health, and medical conditions. This video is educational information, not a personal medical prescription. If your leg weakness is sudden, severe, or getting worse quickly, speak with a medical professional. If you have fallen, developed numbness, experienced chest pain, shortness of breath, or noticed one-sided weakness, seek medical attention promptly. Your legs are your foundation. When they remain strong, you are more likely to stay mobile, independent, and confident in your own home and community. Even small, consistent changes in what you eat can support meaningful improvements in your daily routine. Start with one simple change this week. Add eggs to breakfast. Put berries in your oats. Try salmon twice a week. Replace one refined carbohydrate with sweet potato. Each small choice is an investment in your strength and freedom. Please do not let anyone convince you that the chapter of strength and mobility is already closed. It is not closed. You are watching this video because you are still searching, still learning, and still unwilling to give up on your quality of life. That matters. If this video gave you even one piece of information you did not have before, please subscribe to this channel and turn on notifications so you do not miss the next video. Share this with a friend or family member who is struggling with weakness, balance, or independence. The right information can reach someone at exactly the moment they need it. And now I want to hear from you. Which of these 6 foods are you going to add first? Have you already been eating one of them regularly? Have you noticed a difference in your walking, balance, energy, or recovery? Tell me in the comments below. At the end of the day, this is not only about nutrition science, it is about your life. It is about being able to stand up, walk safely, visit the people you love, and continue doing the activities that give your day meaning. And if there is one thought I want you to carry with you after this video ends, it is this. You do not need a dramatic overhaul starting tomorrow. You need one better breakfast, one better lunch, one small improvement repeated often enough that it becomes part of how you live. That is how lasting change in strength and mobility usually happens, quietly, meal by meal, week by week, and choice by choice. Take care of those legs. They have carried you this far, and with the right nutrition, movement, and medical guidance, they may carry you much farther still. I am Dr. Richard, and I will see you in the next video.